What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to talk about how to prepare your finances for a recession. And the reason I want to do this is because the pandemic already has caused a very short recession. Now we're out of it, things are better, everything's good, or so it seems. But it was still a recession. And during that time, many people, millions and millions of Americans, and people all across the globe didn't know what they would do for an income. Many people weren't sure how they were going to put food on the table. Many people didn't know how they were going to pay for their rent, their mortgages. And many people had to get massive amounts of federal help, support, or stimulus just to stay afloat and get through that. Well, here's what I can tell you. If we see another recession, there's not going to be a lot of federal stimulus. There's not going to be a lot of support from the federal government, maybe from states, but not from the federal government. And that's going to be a huge issue. And that brings me to the question that I received just the other day. And the person asked, what do you recommend we do to prepare for a recession? Well, there's a lot of things that we can do, and we're going to touch on that. But first, over the last couple of days, there's been increased talks of recession. And I want to explain kind of why that is. Because again, and we've been hearing this for a while, that no, there's not going to be a recession. Things are looking too good, and we are not going to be dipping into recession anytime soon. Well, I can tell you that is still the case. Many experts don't predict we are going to be in a recession anytime soon. But the reason why I want to bring this up, because of what the Federal Reserve said just this week, and the reason behind this is that our economy looks like it can sustain a little bit of a pullback, according to the Federal Reserve. So now the Federal Reserve is looking like they are going to be implementing a 50 basis point rate hike in the next few weeks. Looks like they're going to do it in May, they'll do it in June, and probably in July as well. And again, it's going to shock the markets. Now from this, many people are expecting that the stock market is going to take a massive hit, which is going to lower everyone's net worth, and millions of people are going to somewhat struggle. Now, the rising rates, they will also cause our housing market to somewhat cool off. It's not going to send it into a free fall, but it's going to definitely cool it off. When housing prices fall, so does the net worth of millions and millions of individuals. Now, you're probably wondering, why does this matter? Why does it matter what your net worth is? Right? Why? Well, here's the reason why. When somebody's net worth falls, their spending usually falls right alongside with it. And when spending falls, the economy is going to take a hit. Just think about it, okay? Let me just run this scenario by you. Let's say you have no money invested into stocks. You have no business assets. You have no real estate. And yet you have $5,000 in the bank. You're probably thinking, I don't have a lot of money. I can't really go out there and spend. Okay, that's probably true. But let's say another person B, they have $5,000 in the bank. They got $25,000 in stocks. They have a business that provides them a little bit of income. And then they have real estate. They have, let's say they own their home, and they have $150,000 in equity in their home. Guess what? They're more likely to spend that $5,000 that they have in savings because they could just take it out of the equity that they have in their home. They could sell $5,000 in stocks. They could just do a little bit more business, and then they'll make some more money. Do you see why this matters? So when your net worth falls, chances are you're not going to spend as much as you would if it didn't move anything. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, also understand that the pain in this market is likely going to last for months. It's probably not going to last for 4 to 5 years. It's probably going to last for a handful of months. Many people expect it's going to happen within the next 2 to 3 years, and we will most likely see anywhere between 6 to 12 months worth of pain. But again, this will give you more time to get your finances in order. And one thing I want you to really understand is that your financial situation could change in a hurry. It could change in a hurry. Just picture this. Just think about this. Okay, back in April and May of 2020, People who earn less than $40,000 per year, they faced a 40% chance that they would lose their job due to the pandemic. And we knew that 15% of all American adults, they filed for unemployment benefits at some point in 2020. Yeah. And just between 2019 and 2020, lower income households saw their incomes fall by 3%. Middle income households saw their income fall by about 2%. And higher income households saw their income fall by 0.5%. So, big changes. And these changes can happen fast, and they can happen before you ever see them coming. Now, let's get into that question. What can you do to prepare your finances for a recession? Well, let's get into that. The first thing, and probably the biggest thing that I highly recommend, is you reconsider any upcoming major purchases. This could mean a house, especially when the market's going to cool off. Rates are going up. Do you want to buy a house right now? Probably not. It's probably not the best idea unless you absolutely need a bigger house or you need a change, right? Buying a car, it's a major purchase. It either takes all the money that you got to pay up front, right? Let's say you pay cash. Well, is that the best thing to do right now? Probably not. Or you could get a loan, but then when you get a loan, it means it locks you into a payment every single month. And a payment's not a good thing to have. Maybe reconsider any luxury goods. Reconsider vacations or renovations. All things that you can put off for the time being. Use that money, save it, put it into an emergency fund, or invest it. Make sure it can make some more money for you. That's a good thing to do. Again, none of this is financial advice. Okay? This is what I would do. If I were in your situation, this is what I would do. Okay? This is what I'm doing right now to prepare my finances for a recession, just in case. Okay? The next thing, focus on making more money. So for me and my business, some of the things I could do, I could create another YouTube channel. I could sell more online courses, which I already do. I could sell more products on eBay and Amazon. I could do more online consulting, right? I could do so many different things. I could create more businesses, more online websites for my affiliate business, right? I could do a lot of different things. Create more shirts for my merch by Amazon business. I could do so many different things. Just focus on making more money. Don't spend all your time trying to save. Now, and I get it. Okay, let's save money. Let's figure out how to do this, right? I don't got a lot of money, but let's figure out how to save. It makes sense, but saving money is much harder to do consistently than making money, because all you got to do, okay, I want to save some money. I'm going to cancel my Netflix subscription. Okay, that saved me what, like $15? I pay for it. I don't know how much it costs, but I think it's like $15. I'm going to cancel my gym membership, right? Just going to go and buy some resistance bands and some dumbbells from the sporting goods store, and I'm just keep it here at my house. I'm going to save that $80 on the gym membership, right? Just saving a little bit of money. And that can save you every single month. And if it's a recurring payment, that's great. But if it's like, oh, I'm just not going to go to the movies this weekend, well, okay, that saves me like $30, $40. But if I don't do that every single week, then it's not consistent. But making more money, you can do that consistently, and that will really grow. The next thing is to pay down debt. And again, none of these are in order, okay? These aren't in order from most important to least important. These are just my list, is to pay down debt. If you can cut back on expenses, you can eliminate at least one major purchase that you do have, you will have money to really pay down debt. And paying down debt will provide you with more options during a recession. Not only that, but as the Federal Reserve starts raising rates, guess what? Your interest is going to go up. You got a credit card, it's going to go up. You're going to have to pay more, right? And if you're not going to pay more, well, your principal pay down is actually less. So that's not a good thing either. So paying down debt is a smart move, especially right before a recession. And what most people don't realize, because what's happening is everybody's spending money. So I go, oh yeah, I'll buy that car, no big deal. Here's some cash for it. Oh yeah, I want that new iPhone, of course. Oh, give me that new TV and that new furniture set. I desperately need that. But what happens is people spend a lot more money leading up to the recession, and then things just come crashing back down. So again, keep that in mind. Just because everyone else is spending does not mean you have to as well. Another thing, and I addressed this actually earlier this week, is how I'm going to sell unwanted items. And my plan is to sell anything that I don't absolutely need or want. Now, this money could be used for starting a new business, which I'm going to do. It could be to pay down debt. It could be to just put money set aside for an emergency fund, right? Put into investments. A lot of options here. But selling items that you don't want, like an additional car, tires that you don't use. It could be workout equipment. Could be a PlayStation or an old iPhone. Could be used clothing, right? It could be a recreational vehicle, right? All these different options. If you have something that you don't use, don't want, and don't need, consider selling it. Another thing is to continue investing. And this is one that I personally, it's a tough thing to do, but trying to time the market is not a good way to make money in the market. But the amount of time that you are in the market, this almost always wins out. Now, even though you might be extremely concerned about investing in rough times, it's honestly better to continue to push money into the market, because once the market finally does bottom, you're already going to be in. You're going to be riding that wave down. You keep pumping money back in as that market turns around and shoots up. You're going to be able to ride it all the way up. Again, it's not about timing the market. It's about time in the market. That always outbeats timing the market. I guarantee it. And any financial advisor would tell you that. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, but go talk to one. They will tell you the exact same thing. Timing the market does not win. Time in the market does. Okay, guaranteed. The last thing, something that I highly recommend, is to have 3 months of expenses saved up. This is your emergency fund. Experts are going to tell you need between 3 and 6 months of expenses set aside in a savings account. The reason behind this, and again, it's pretty simple. The reason behind 3 to 6 months is because it takes somebody usually a couple weeks to get over the fact that they lost their job, right? So they have some type of big setback. They lost their job. Okay. So they have 2 weeks set aside for that where they're not working, right? They're just getting over the kind of their emotions, right? They're just having a tough time. Then it takes them about a couple weeks to actually find a new job. So about 4 weeks or 1 month. It's about find a new job. Well, what if it takes you, let's say, a month to get paid, right? You got to work a few weeks and then you get paid. Well, or you work an entire month and then you get paid a couple weeks later. It happens, right? You work for the government. In many cases, you work for a full month and then they pay you the next month. So it takes you 2 months. That's one of the reasons why they say 3 months, between 3 and 6 months, because that should be enough time that, okay, you blow through your 3 months of emergency expenses, right? Your emergency savings, and then you got your first paycheck. It's coming in, so you're good to go, right? It's for emergencies. Now, and I just want to say this, anything more than about 3 months worth of an emergency fund is almost a waste, because you could be investing it. You could be making money off it, okay? A good ETF would be a great option, right? Just something that's going to continue to pay you a little bit. Something that you're not invested into one specific stock. You're invested into an entire industry. That would be a better option. Okay, so just consider that. And again, go talk to somebody. Go talk to somebody that really understands your personal financial situation, where you're at, what your goals are, how close you are to retirement, right? Because nobody else can give you that. You need that one-on-one attention. So that is how you prepare your finances for a recession. Again, I know I didn't go into extreme detail here, but if you have any specific questions, let me know and I'll try to answer those questions for you. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. You should go talk to one if you really have these very specific questions, because again, they will be able to put you on the right path for what your goals are, especially moving forward, right? So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing and also hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one.